Hi dear students, hope all are doing well. So this is second video of MMPC 001 Unit 1 and we already uploaded the first part of Unit 1. So in this video we will discuss the remaining portion of Unit 1 and before getting in the video, I have already discussed in the previous video that we have started online classes for the first semester subjects of new MPA, and we are also providing recorded classes for those who are not able to attend online classes. PDF will also be provided, right? So if you are in need of that, please subscribe our Telegram channel and the details will be provided there, and the link of the channel will be given in the description box. Okay, so as usual, if you feel that the contents are helpful, please like, share and subscribe the channel. And before the examination, we will upload more videos of different subjects of first semester. So your likes, shares and subscriptions are very much needed for us. Okay, so without further delay, let's get. In the last video we discussed about the different differences between management and administration. What is the nature of management, then what are the characteristics of management, then why we are considering management art as art, science as well as profession. All these things we discussed. So today we are starting with functions of management. Okay, as you all know that there are mainly 5 functions of management, then planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. So according to Kuntz and Donald, the most important method of classifying managerial activity is to group them under 5 important functions. So they are planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. Okay, so the planning means it refers to anticipating the future conditions and choosing them among the alternative future course of action. So the planning includes forecasting, then establishing objective, programming, scheduling, budgeting. All these are the part of planning, right? So in the planning we will set the standard for that. Okay, so next is organizing function. Under organizing, determining how best to group the activities and resources, how the resources of the organizations are grouped together so that the firm can achieve the effectiveness, right? So under organizing function, we have to develop the organization structure. We know that different organization structures are there, that is tall structure, flat structure, then organic structures, mechanistic structure, all these are there, right? Then delegating authority to the managers, that is managers have the top management can't control everything and they can't take care of the entire activity of the organization, so they will delegate the authority to the managers. Then managers can delegate that authority to their subordinate. So there are 3 main elements for delegation. They are accountability, responsibility and authority. When we are delegating a task to a subordinate, you are giving the authority to do it, so that is authority. Then the responsibility, they have a responsibility towards to the superior, that is they have to finish the work within the stipulated time and they have to be responsible for their actions, right? Then another one is accountability means the subordinate as well as the manager have the accountability. Manager have to be more accountable than the subordinate. Okay, so if something goes wrong from subordinate side also, the manager has to be accountable for that action because he delegated the task to the subordinate, right? Then establishing relations, so the creating conditions that are necessary for the mutual cooperation between the people so that they will work towards the common goal. Okay, so next is staffing. We know that staffing means planning with suitable personnel, that is human resources. So that includes, staffing function includes recruitment, selection, performance evaluation, then compensation, training, development. All these are the part and parcel of staffing function, right? Then the directing function means managing the people within the organization, how to sustain the employees with you, right? So there are 3 main important elements of directing. They are effective communication, effective motivation as well as effective leadership. So you have to provide motivation to the employees, external motivation, intrinsic and intrinsic motivation. Then Another function is that effective communication. We know that formal communication, informal communication, or grapevine. Then formal communication in organization is again divided into vertical, horizontal, and diagonal communication. So these all things we will discuss under many subjects in the upcoming classes, right? Okay, so then effective leadership, there are different leadership styles. Are there autocratic, then laissez-faire, then participative, transformational, transactional leadership. So these all are the important functions of directing. Okay, then controlling function. So controlling means you have to ensure that you achieve the benchmark standard. So first you have to establish a standard. That is happening at the planning phase. So we have to ensure that the standards are acquired at the final level. If not acquired, we have to find the reason for the not acquiring or attaining that standard. So if there is a deviation between the estimated standard and estimated standard and achieved result, the firm have to get into the results and to find reason behind that deviation and to rectify it. Okay, so these are the important function: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. I hope it's clear. So another researcher, that is Luther Gillick, he gave the keywords. According to him, planning, organizing, directing, staffing, then coordinating, then two other things also there, that is reporting and budgeting. So he added two more terms to this planning functions, or to the managing functions, right? So the functions of management we already discussed: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling, right? Okay, there are certain challenges that are emerging management challenges. So they are globalization. We know that today we are using the products from different parts of the world. Okay, so along with that, you are working with a diverse workforce. Your employees are from different parts of the world. They are having different ethnicities, different cultural background, so different linguistic skills. All these things are different. Okay, diverse culture we have now. Okay, so these are the impact of globalization. Okay, so globalization challenges is another one. Then development of environment. We know that the recent COP26 and all, so the governments across the world, UN and all these organizations are concerned more about the carbon emission and the environmental protection. So the organizations also a part of that, and they have to ensure that they will be a they will have to play a constructive role in reducing the environmental pollution. So that is the another challenges. Then quality and productivity. People are in need of quality product. Along with that, the organization has to ensure that they have to achieve 100% productivity. Then ethics and social responsibility, CSR, corporate social responsibilities, ethics. We already discussed one video, that is there are CSR activities are mandatory. India is the first country to make it mandatory to follow the CSR. If not, it's a penalty. They have to pay the penalty. It's an offense, right? Then innovation and changes. So we know that in a pre-pandemic era, how we run the business is not the same way we are running the business in 2021, and in 2022 maybe some more amendment or some more changes or transitions can happen. Okay, so the innovation and changes are a important one. Organization have to adapt in accordance with that. Then technological development, so all have to be tech savvy. So in a technologically updating world, the organization have to update its technological versions too, right? Then knowledge management, how to retain the efficient and talented employees, and how to develop their talent, and how to ensure that their career is getting managed well. All these are all the challenges of the organizations in the current scenario, right? Then workforce diversity, we already discussed that in a globalized world, the people across the globe are working together, and we have to manage a diverse workforce, and how to maintain a diverse workforce is a challenge for the current managers, right? Then multicultural impact, then empowerment of employees. So we recently heard about one phenomena that is happening in the developed countries. India got a glimpse only in the tech field. But in US, UK and all, people are ready to quit their job because they need to maintain a work life balance. They need a peaceful life after the pandemic impact and all. People are more aware of there or more are in need of mental well-being. So that may be one of the reason for their quitting their job. Okay, so to retain the employees and to make the employees more engaged with the organization or more committed towards the firm is a great challenge for the current managers, right? So these are some of the emerging management. Now there are three levels of management. They are top level management, middle level management and lower level management. Okay, so top level management, they are the strategy makers. Okay, we already know what do you mean by strategy, tactics and operations. So strategy means it's a game plan, how to frame, how to put it in this in action. So that is coming under tactics. So tactics are framing by the middle level. Okay, so the top level, for example, we can take an example of a of an organization. So let's take an organization want to introduce its product among the young people or the adult. Okay, so that's a strategy. So then tactics is how the marketing department is framing strategy to reach to these target group. So that is the middle level one. And how the marketing executive attain that goal. So that is the operation. Okay, so top level consists of chief executive, managing directors and directors. Okay, so then middle level consists of departmental managers and managers, right? Then lower level consists of supervisors, foreman, section officer and superintendent. Like in the example, top level consists of the CEO, managing director, middle level consists of the marketing managers, assistant marketing managers and low level consists of marketing executive and a salesman, right? So these are the three levels: top level, middle level and low. There are three skill approach according to CATS. So these three level we already discussed: lower level, middle level and top level. Okay, so there are three skills also: conceptual skill, technical skill and human skills. Okay, so technical skills are more needed at the lower level. So the lower level employees should be technologically updated. They because they are engaged in the operations. So they should have, the lower level should have high technical skill, right? So they have the human skills also high, but conceptual skill is not much needed, right? But when we are moving to the middle management, that is they are in need of human skills high, conceptual skills also they are in need, but technical skills medium only they needed. Okay, they are in need of, that is middle management or the tactics makers. They should be having more human skills, but the technical and the conceptual skills should be in medium level, right? So when we are moving to the top management, their technical skill is not much needed, but they should be having human skills and conceptual skill. Top management, higher skill needed is conceptual skill. Okay, middle management, high skill needed is human skills. Okay, lower management, higher skill needed is technical skill. Clear? Okay, so the last topic of unit 1, that is Henry Mintzberg, managerial role. According to Henry Mintzberg, he categorized the managerial role under three main heading, that is informational role, informational category, interpersonal category and decisional category. Okay, under informational category, he divided the manager's role under three heading, that is monitor role, disseminator role and spokesperson role. Okay, under monitor role, his role is to responsible for the information that is relevant to understanding the organization internal and external. He have to monitor the external and internal environment, and he should be aware of what is happening inside and outside the organization, right? Then disseminator means he have to integrate this information and he have to forward this information to other important members of the organization. So that is its second function. Then spokesperson, he have to transmit the information to the outsider, so he is acting as a spokesperson for his company. So under informational role, he is a monitor, he is a disseminator and he is a spokesperson, right? Then when we are coming to the second category, that is interpersonal category, he is considered as a figurehead, leader and license. So what do you mean by figurehead? He is a symbolic leadership duties. He has to engage in the social and legal matters associated with the organization. Then he is a leader. He have to motivate, he have to inspire, he have to encourage his subordinate so that they will work hard to attain the organizational goal. So he is acting as a leader, right? Then license means he is maintaining the relationship between the organization and outside entity. So he is acting as a mediator, or he is acting as a bridge between the external environment and the internal environment of an organization. So he is known as a license. So interpersonal means figurehead, leader, and license. Okay, now we are coming to the last category, that is decisional. So under decisional, he is an entrepreneur. He should be a disturbance handler. He should be a resource allocator, negotiator. So entrepreneur means he should have a innovating sense. So that means he have to always searching for a new opportunity, and he have to foster creativity and innovation. So that is entrepreneurial role. Disturbance handler. So if some disturbance happening in between the members of the organization, he have to handle it amicably. So that is a disturbance handler. Then resource allocator, allocation of resources or delegation of authority, all these things he have to taken care of. Then negotiator, he has to represent the organization during any significant negotiation. So these are the three important roles. So three main category: informational, interpersonal, and decisional. Information, interpersonal, and decisional. Under information, monitor, disseminator, and spokesperson. Under interpersonal, figurehead, leader, and license. And decisional, entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator, and negotiator. Okay, 4 plus 3 plus 3, so that is 10 roles the managers are playing, right? So that is Henry Binsberg managerial role. So we finished the first unit of MMPC 001. So next unit we have theorems and all, that is managerial principles of management, the theorems, that is how the evolution of management theory happened. All these things we will discuss in another video. Okay, I will upload the video within 2 to 3 days. Okay, so that's all for now. We will upload more videos of different papers of a semester in the upcoming weeks. If you are in need of a particular topic, please put it in the comment box. We will get back to you, and we will try to upload your suggested videos all. Okay, so as usual, if you feel the contents are helpful, please like, share, and subscribe the channel, and do share with your friends. Okay, so that's all for now. Work hard. Examination data sheet already arrived. Work hard. Success will be yours. With that note, have a fabulous week ahead. Thank you. Take care all of you. Stay safe.